Hi there, it's Janice Thompson from JazzleDazzleCrafts.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator working in Scotland. Excuse me. So yesterday I took part in the Poodles Team blog hop, which is featuring the new Spring-Summer catalogue. Again, it's just full of amazing things. The designer series paper is absolutely amazing. Just gorgeous, and there's some lovely stamp sets, ribbons, just some lovely bits and pieces for spring and summer, just to ring up the changes and what you've been working with recently. So I love it. So today, or rather yesterday, I made this. I featured this card in the blog hop featuring the Climbing Roses stamp set and using a couple of the rose Trellis thinlits dies. Now this is a gorgeous set, and I chose to buy the die set and the stamps. I'm featuring a little bit of the die set today in this card. I'm going to change up the colours that I used, but what I'm going to do is show you basically the process. Now I'm going to change the sentiment because I've changed the colours. I'm going for Cherry Cobbler, Old Olive, and I'm going to pop a bit of yellow in the middle of one of the roses. So I'm using my blends with this as well. So I'm just going to show you what I did. So in the stamp set, there are some nice stamps. We have the big, I need to bring this. We have the big stamp, which I've used here, and I've stamped that with Memento so that I can then use my alcohol markers to colour it in. And I'm using this stamp, which is it's a little stamp. It's sort of like a chain link fence type of background. So I'm going to, because I have a memory of my dad planting a lot of rambling roses, climbing roses in our garden when I was a little girl, and I loved them. They were pink. I'm not doing pink today. Some of them were very, very deep pink, but they were so pretty, and I always admired them, and I always loved all the little rosebuds when I was a little girl, and that has developed into a love of roses as I've grown up. So that is why this appealed to me, and I'll have to have a wee think about doing something with the chain link sort of thing with the roses more growing up. Just need to have a wee think about it. The die set has actually got a gorgeous trellis die in it. I think I have something I cut out. Yeah, see, it cuts out a beautiful shape there, and I will feature this in a card soon. Isn't that just gorgeous? Can you see that? Okay, yeah. There's a lovely wee, like a trellis for growing things up in your garden. So I'm going to play with that another day. But today it's really just to show you the process so that I can put this on my blog, the video on my blog beside the card that I featured yesterday, so that then everyone who wants has got access to the measurements and the process that I did. So I've chosen these three colours. So I've chosen a Cherry Cobbler background, and again it's an A4 sheet cut in half and folded in half. It gives me a 10-fold card. Again, I use 10-fold because it photographs easier, but you can do the other way around. You can do any card orientation. In fact, you can change up the measurements to suit you. This is just to show you the process that I used. So that's my base card, and I've cut a piece of Whisper White for stamping on, and it is 10.1 centimetres by 14.4 centimetres. So I'm just not going to, and I'm using grey granite for sponging and for the trellis, and as I said already, my Memento, if I can find it. So I think I've got everything around, and I'm just going to work my way through this. I don't know if this will be a fairly long video. It will be because of the colouring, and I'm not technically smart enough yet to do, a fast forward, etc. So you can, but then again, you can, when I'm at the colouring bit, you can always fast forward your device to not have to watch every little bit. So what I'm going to do first is stamp this. in the Memento so that it can be drying before I, oops, colour it in. So I take, because I'm just using the wee Memento pad, I'm just take the pad to my stamp. Because on a bigger stamp I do kind of, because this is a felt pad, you know, a few wee twists just to make sure the ink is all over the surface that you want it. I'm going to pop that to the side and pop the lid on it because, as you all know, I can be a bit messy. So the ink's closed, less room for error. So I decided to pop it at this angle on this corner. So I'm just popping that down now. Just gentle pressure. These stamps are fantastic. They've got foam on them anyway, the red rubber ones, so they stamp beautifully. Every time, and well, I should say almost every time, just in case. I'll qualify that. There you go, isn't that gorgeous? That is so beautiful. Right, so pop that stamp aside, I won't need that again. And then I'm going to come in with the grey granite and I'm going to give this trellis effect on the card. Now, it kind of joins up together when you stamp, but I'm not really too concerned about that. I just want to give an impression of a fence for the roses. So I'm doing that in the grey granite. And I did think about maybe doing it as the second generation stamping, but sometimes I'm a bit, I don't know, don't always manage to do it, so I'm just going to go with first generation. And I did in that one as well. You know, if you wanted it to be a bit fainter, then you could do that. So it won't matter if it overlap here, because once I colour in with the alcohol pens, you won't actually see it. I'm not deliberately doing it, but now they do kind of a, oh, finger it, good stuff. They kind of do match up a little bit, but I'm not quite sure where that one comes in there. Yeah, that one comes, yeah, there, roughly. So of course you have to go off, but it doesn't match up that well. It does match up if you're clever at that sort of thing, but I'm not, so just I'm not seeing it. Sometimes you can see it and sometimes you don't. And then those two go in there. Are you seeing it? Sorry, I forgot about you. I'm so busy with my... It's quite hard for me while I'm filming. When I was doing it, I kind of had my head over. It isn't accurate at all this time. I actually think I made a better job of it the first time. Putting a wee bit there, but it's just giving the general impression of a chain link fence. Okay, so that's not perfect, but you know what, you can take your time and just doing a bit of second generation down here. It's just kind of like a, I'm going to turn this one round actually and do that one in there. An old broken fence. There we go. Sort of giving it an antique-y look, an old, or I don't, do you know, a kind of old look. And then I wonder whether I'll do the sponging round the edge after I've coloured the roses. I think I will. So, oh, look at the mess I've made now because of all my... I actually meant to do that on a scrap piece of paper, but never mind. I'm going to take this out of the way because it is a bit distracting. But I'm going to keep it because when I do my sponging, I might need it to sponge on. So, here we go. Right, okay, so I'm going to show you, I chose 3 colours and the yellow is just for the middle of this rose. Now, you can use these alcohol markers for blending, but I also wanted to show you that you can actually get really good results by just using straight colour. And kind of thought if I use the cherry cobbler, this is the lighter one, I kind of thought it might have a Valentine-y look, you know, love and red roses. So I've chosen the sentiment. Now I'm not really taking that much care to go, you know, round and do it lighter and darker. I'm basically just adding colour. I do like sometimes to just sit and colour in and do a bit of shading and, you know, make it look more arty. But for today, I mean, that's obviously your choice how you colour in. I just wanted to show you how, with the blends, you can actually get, it gives such a nice even colour if you just put one coat, and you don't have to particularly, obviously the very outline there of the edge of the furthest out petal you would take care. But I think you can see that, you know, it's still okay. But, do you know, if you wanted to make this card with a lot more care, you would get much better results, but this is okay. I've chosen the lighter version of the cherry cobbler, but I've chosen the darker version of the old olive for the leaves. And again, I'm going to do the leaves just in the flat colour, but I think it'll be okay. As I say, the only other, just because this rose is open, I've used yellow for the stamens in the middle. And a bit of pollen on them. I do love wild roses, or rambling roses, dog roses. They've all different names for them. See, a lot of people are put off buying the alcohol pens because they think, because they see people doing such amazing blending, and they think that they would have to do that. But actually, do you know, if you just purchased a few colours, you can achieve pretty good results quite quickly. Most of the colours do come as you can buy them singly, but you can also buy them as pairs, and you get a light and a bit dark of each colour. And that way it does help you to do the shading. So I know I go a bit quiet when I'm colouring. It's quite a nice calming activity. When I travelled to New Zealand in October and Australia, I had stamped myself out quite a few top pieces card like this and stamped different things on them with the Memento ink. But I took my watercolour pencils with me because alcohol pens I kind of thought might cause a wee bit of problem going through security, so I just put my watercolour pencils in and a blender, and that was okay. And so then I was just sat on the plane and coloured, and it was fine. So then we're just going to go in and put the green in for the leaves. I'm not doing this particularly carefully. Can you notice that I'm using the brush end and just the very tip of the brush? I mean, if you wanted to introduce more colours, you could do your stems in a more browny colour, and you could do, you know, take account of where the light might be coming from and get your shades and your lights in where you thought. But as I say, I'm just add colour. I really like this stamp. And again, you can cut it out. You can use dimensionals and step this up quite a bit. So people who made comments yesterday on my blog and said, oh, that must have taken you ages to do the fence part. Did you see it didn't? I was just a bit sloppy up. It would take ages if you really cared about getting it all lined up. But I don't know about you, but it's from a memory of an old broken down fence with roses growing through it. You know, long after my dad had died. It was still like that. My brother kept our family home. He bought our family home and he lives there, and he's taken it all away now, but for quite a lot of years it was all still there, and the fence became quite broken down, and just still gave me lots of memories. I'm remembering when it was Dad's pride and joy. I've just missed a little bit on that flower, so again I can just go back in with my red and finish that wee flower bud off. And you see, I'm not going to take too much longer to get the colour in here. And you can see it all coming to life. Oh look, there's another bit that I thought was a leaf and it's a petal. So we'll go and fix that in a minute as well. Sometimes it is actually quite difficult to decide what's petal and what's leaf. But I've decided that that's definitely petal. And I think we're okay now. I think the rest are leaves. So you could actually make a batch of these cards, because you could stamp off, you could do the stamping and then, in an evening, even, with a tray on your lap and while you're watching TV or something, just sit and colour in when you're needing to do something kind of quiet. Say, colouring in is just so therapeutic. Right, that'll do. It's not the most perfect, but it's letting you see. There we go. A beautiful red rambling rose. It even reminds me of the song Rambling Rose. How are we doing for time? I'm going to stop this just now, because if I get to 22 minutes it cuts out. I'm not going to finish that in this time, so stop. Okay, we're ready to go again. So what I forgot to do was, what to show you was, on this card I had these two little wee single roses here on the sentiment. So what I have done is I've stamped them and cut them out with, there's a wee die in the set to cut them out with. Again, if you don't want to buy the die set, you could fussy cut them out. It's not, and again, I'm just going to quickly colour them. I'm not taking too much worrying about lines and things, just add the colour into the main part of the flower. Okay, I've got the red out, I'll just do both. So it is just sorry, I was just checking that I had actually switched the film back on again. That's the red. Yeah, and And it just shows you don't actually have to have the whole set of these pens if you don't want to. You can have just a few. As I say, you can buy them in pairs or single, so your choice. Again, just have a wee look in on the annual catalogue and you'll see. They're not available in all our colours, but they are available in quite a few of them. Okay, so 2 little roses to use later on. I'll put them in there. Now the next part is I want to sponge around the edge just to soften it. And I've got my old piece of paper where we did our lattice, so I'll bring that in and not be so wasteful. Put them over there just now. And where's my grey granite? The grey granite ink. A little piece of sponge, just a wee wedge that I've cut off one of our round sponges. And I'm just loading up this with it. Just dab it on your paper first and then start to come in little circles around your edge. Keeping the darker colour to the edge, and then you can come in a wee bit. Just, you know, you can add colour, you can't take it away, so just take your time and decide how much of the grey you want added in. I'm actually going for a bit of a darker look than I did with the other one, simply because I've used darker colours for the rose, etc. When you do this, when you're doing your circling and you're coming in, you're actually giving a nice edging on there as well. Just gives it an extra wee frame because you're catching on the edge of the card. Because your alcohol ink dries quite quickly, it's okay to go in there as well in the spaces between the roses. And just keep doing it until you're happy with the result. As I say, your card doesn't have to look exactly like mine, you just do it your way. And then I'm just going to dab over and just add more colour in the rest. I thought I was going to dab, but I'm not. I'm going to just swirl. Take the ink off at the edge and then swirl it in so that you're taking the whiteness of the page and giving that more antique-ish look about it. The darker here, and then just pull that into the edge of the roses. I think that's fine. I do. I've taken the stark whiteness away, so it does give it that nice antique-y look. The other thing, I am going to pop my sentiment in here, but I wanted to give it a nice wee kind of just sponge off the edge of this. This is from the Rose Trellis Thin Let's Die, and I'm going to put my sentiment on it like I did on that one, except this time it's not going to be thank you. So again, load up a bit of ink and then just take it down the side like that. Just sponge it around. Okay, so that will go in there, but I'll put that on with dimensionals. That's if I remember where I put them. Oh yeah, I do. Okay, and then I'm going to get my sentiment, which I've already popped onto a block. I'm going to do that with the Memento ink, and then I'll be able to decide where I'm going to put everything. So let's just ink this up with the Memento. Not quite sure where I'm going to pop it, sort of to the side I think, and then the roses will go. I'm not sure. Sending love. Kind of thinking a romancy type of theme you maybe want to use. You could use this as a Valentine's card. Because all Valentine cards don't need to say Valentine's on them. It's just a bit of love. Hey, that's nice. I'm happy. What I did notice is that one of the holes hasn't come completely out with the die. See, it's got the nice little row of holes around it. That's really pretty. Okay, so, pardon me. Again, we do have the gorgeous cherry cobbler ribbon in the main catalogue. If you wanted, do you know, you could put some ribbon in this as well. I'm not going to, but I'm just showing you that, you know, there's lots of things in the catalogue that would team up depending on what you choose to do, but that would team up really well on that one. As I say, I'm not actually going to do it today, I'm just showing you that what the possibilities are. So now it's really just a case of assembling the card, so let's take the inky paper away out of the way. And you see I've done that just a bit deeper in colour than the yellow one. Where's my cherry cobbler back base? So now it's just a matter of gluing it all together. Be aware though that your alcohol pens do come through the card, so you wouldn't do that on a plain white base. But because I'm going to be sticking that on there, it's not a big deal, but I think I might stick it on the right way around though. That might be a good idea. So let's pop some glue on here. I just use a thin line of my Tombow. Don't need a lot, make it quite thin. And then just mount it onto my base card. I'll obviously do something pretty on the inside. There you go. I will line this with some Whisper White card and stamp something on the inside. That's nice, isn't it? I really like it. So then, sending love. So I actually think I want a bit more sponging on here. I don't think I'm going to actually bring the sponge gently round. I just finding the white just a bit stark. I'm not adding any colour to the sponge now. I'm just bringing it in a bit to just take the... Sometimes it's just appearance and it's just what's pleasing to your eye. This is what's pleasing to mine. It just was a bit stark, and the just gentle sponging. It's not adding a whole lot of colour, but it's just taking the stark white out a wee bit and dull it. Just romanticising it a wee bit, or maybe I'm just, no, I don't know. Anyway, here we go. So we have these beautiful flowers, so we'll put some dimensionals on the sentiment. Where are mine? Where are they? So I'm going to pop them dimensionals on the back of my sentiment. Maybe just an extra one for balance. Just put 4 on, and I'll put one on the back of each flower. And I'll pop them up as well. Okay. So that was the dimensionals. Again, I think I've told you before, how easy do the backs of these dimensionals come off? How much of your life, if you're a crafter, how much of your life have you spent trying to get the back of a dimensional from another brand? So I'm going to pop that about there. Take these that one there, and because the sentiment's smaller on this one, these can come in a lot more on your, there you go, sending love. Okay, now what will we put on the inside? Don't even know where my stamp set is. Is there anything here we could, actually, do you know what, do you want to stay with me and we'll have a go? We'll just, I'll probably mess this up now that I've done this lovely card, but what's my size there? What have I got? So it's too long, so I just use up what I've got here, so I'm just going to cut this 14.4 to just pop on the inside. Just cut that wee bit off, put that to the side, and just maybe just put something like that on in each corner. We'll just stamp this with the black, or yeah, because we've got leaves and flowers. So I'll just take the trellis off this block and just pop this on that block. Get my memento out. Actually think I'm just going to stick this in the card first and then do it, because then I'll know if it looks okay or not. Right, and I've got black ink on me, so I'm going to try and not get that on the card and just ruin it all together. So lining it in there. Whoops, it's not very straight. Get that straight, that's better. Right, so that's that on the inside. And then I'm just going to ink up this little stamp just to see what, I haven't actually stamped with this yet, so just to see what it looks like. So just smaller flowers, smaller wee roses. So again, what do you think? Do you think I just pop it along the bottom here? I don't know if it's upside down or that looks okay. And then just one on that corner maybe? What do you think? I don't know what sentiment I'm going to put inside. That's okay though. You could colour that if you want to, or not if you don't. There we go. And then, have I got an envelope handy to show you? Take one of our beautiful envelopes. Oops. And then you could just take this little one, ink it up. Which way round will we just put it there? Wow, this is going to be, it's well decorated. There you go. So decorated the envelope, plenty of room for the address. There we go. Quite romantic. And there's the card that I did for the blog hop, and this one to show you the process of how I did it. So please click on subscribe down below and also push the bell icon so that you'll get notification when there are more videos coming out. Also, if you click down below, you'll see the link to my blog about the card. And also you would be able to then go and look at all the beautiful cards and other projects, not just cards, 3D projects that my fellow team members have done as part of a bigger team that I'm in. Not my immediate team, but a bigger team that I'm part of. And I think there were 39 of us took part in the blog hop. So if you pop onto my blog, you'll be able to click in and see all the other 38 projects that are using products from the spring summer catalogue. It's absolutely fantastic. I spent most of my afternoon yesterday looking through them while catching up with some TV programmes because I wasn't feeling too grand. So just sat and blog hopped and caught up with a TV programme. I'm awful stuttery today. I do apologise for that. So thanks very much. I'll see you next time.